and welcome to Retail Media Unplugged. I'm Cindy Loza, Managing Editor of Member Content for the Path to Purchase Institute. PDPI's Retail Media Unplugged is a video series that dives into the nitty-gritty of retail media to explore the latest trends, strategies, and tactics for success. In each episode, we go behind the scenes with our special guests to dig into how they're navigating the evolving realm of retail media. Joining us for our latest episode, I'm delighted to welcome Morgan Millard from Scott's Miracle-Gro. Welcome, Morgan. Thanks so much for being here. To kick things off, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your role at the company?
Sure. So happy to be here today and talk retail media. I am director of our omni-channel strategy and planning group at Scott's Miracle-Gro. I've been in the role about 2 years now, and so I lead our omni-channel marketing efforts, which includes retail media.
Great. Can you share what the manufacturer's retail media journey has looked like these past few years?
Yeah, so we've been investing in retail media for a while now. Back in it was probably 2018, we started investing in Amazon search, and then obviously we slowly continued to invest more and more as capabilities grew, and more of our retailers started to launch retail media networks. First they would start with, just regular search and display, but now a lot of the retail media networks that we work with offer a variety of, tactics throughout the shopper funnel. So they offer on-site, they offer off-site. Offsite is something that's actually very important to us in our category because we sell products that are heavy and cheap, right? So think mulch and large bag soils, and so to us, having that full funnel approach with offsite offerings as well is very important. So we're glad that our retailers have leaned in there and begun to offer those sorts of things.
Great. And how much of your marketing budget is dedicated to solutions for retail media networks? And has that increased over the years?
So it does depend on the year. I would say it's probably around a third of the budget, give or take, right? Depending on, what our holistic enterprise approach is. So when we plan retail media, we think about our enterprise media plan as one, conjoined plan. So we plan it at the same time as we plan enterprise and make sure that all of the tactics and funding allocation is working together. So it has increased over the years, actually pretty drastically in the past few years. I would say it's starting to level out a bit, but we have found that the increase in retail media spend is working hard for us, and we're seeing good returns. So no plans to reduce it by any means, but we'll see what next year brings.
That's great. Now, there's a lot that's going on and continues to go on in the commerce marketing world that has led to the rise of retailer media networks. What specifically for Scott's has led the company to invest or rely more in retailer media networks?
We don't do a lot of D2C business, so we don't have a lot of 1P data. We have some, right, that we utilize, but really we leverage our retail media networks to kind of lean on their 1P data and the ability to target those specific audiences that we want to go after, depending on what our brand objectives are. Also knowing that, the threat of, Google third-party cookies going away, that impending threat has been kind of scary, right? And so knowing that we have to find alternatives to targeting the consumers that we want to reach. And so that is why we've leaned more into retail media.
Oh, that makes sense. That impending doom.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
and what are some of your go-to retail media solutions currently? And are there any areas the company is interested in exploring more?
So obviously we have an always on approach to search and display, like many other companies. I will say we've seen some really good results from OTT and CTV. So that's one place where I anticipate that we'll continue to spend more and just make sure that we have those video assets that we can use even on-site video, right? Like video assets in general have seemed to work really hard for us. So making sure we have those for all of our brands and our key items. I think something that's very interesting to us is in-store digital. So in-store retail media is starting to become bigger. We've done some tests that have seemed to provide good results. And so I think we'll continue to test out there and most likely increase our spend in store.
And staying on the company's kind of strategy when it comes to certain technologies, what's the strategy when it comes to data clean rooms? And has Scott's used them extensively?
So clean rooms have been on our radar for a while. We've actually been told that we've kind of been on the forefront of having these conversations with our retailers about clean rooms. I will say, it's something we want to really dive deeper into now. Some retailers have been a bit hesitant to partner in the clean room space, but for the retailers that have been willing to partner, yes, we have absolutely utilized clean rooms to gain insights about our customers and then to retarget them effectively. So that is something that we're going to continue to drive as more of our retail partners will likely start to lean into partnering on clean rooms.
Great. And I think you might have mentioned this earlier, but do you leverage retailer media networks for full funnel opportunities? For example, would you turn to retailer media networks for upper funnel objectives like brand awareness?
Yes, 100%. It definitely depends on the tactics. So, like I said earlier, when we plan media, we have a holistic approach. So we think about, okay, like what are our brand objectives and what are we going to do from an enterprise standpoint? And how does that, complement what we're doing with our retailers? So we kind of have to think about all of the different things. But yes, we definitely use upper funnel tactics with our retailers to drive foot traffic. Very important for us, right? I think we want to make sure that our in-store business is healthy. Obviously, we want to grow the digital and online e-commerce business as well. But since the in-store business is so important to us, that is one of the reasons that we absolutely take advantage of the full funnel approach, and especially those upper funnel offsite tactics.
Are there any challenges that you face related to the retail media space? And how did you overcome them?
So yeah, there have been plenty of challenges. I think every day is a challenge. Just as you think about, what kind of KPIs you want to look at for your different brands, how you negotiate with your retail media networks. I think every network has their own expertise and things that they're good at. And when you go into to lock in, 1 or 2 year, multi-year contracts, just making sure that it's a mutual benefit to both parties. There's been times in the past where some retail media networks have maybe, just a more canned approach to their offerings, whereas others are a little more nimble in what they offer and take maybe more feedback on, what kind of tactics they are going to make available. There have been retail media networks that also, have dictated percent on-site versus off-site spend. And so that's something we've kind of like had to negotiate as well. So I would say, yes, definitely many challenges as it comes to, working with some of these retail media networks and just making sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck at the end of the day.
Great. And what impact do you think AI will have in the retail media and commerce marketing world?
You know, I think about this one a lot and I feel like I don't really know for sure, but my gut is telling me that it's going to make things easier, right? Like easier execution, less managed service, more working media dollars, more efficiency of our dollars based on, AI tools that can optimize our spend. That's kind of like where my head goes, but who knows? Could be much more than that even.
Well, thanks for sharing. Well, we are almost out of time for this episode of Retail Media Unplugged. So, to wrap us up, we'd love to play a quick fill in the blank rapid fire round with you, Morgan.
Okay.
So, Morgan, fill in the blank. The biggest trend right now in retail media is
In-store digital,
the next big thing in retail media is
clean rooms,
My biggest tip for brands activating in retail media is
planning in tandem with your enterprise media.
in 5 years, retail media will.
Level out.
Those are great responses. That wraps up this episode of Retail Media Unplugged. Big thank you to Morgan for sharing her expertise with us today. For the Path to Purchase Institute, I'm Cindy Loza. Thanks for tuning in.